picked my dream backyard patio. Wait, I built my dream backyard patio.
This summer, cranking out all of this content for you guys at home. So to say
Lots of
thanks, I'm
content.
gonna build them a place to hang out here at our building. I went ahead and asked all of them what they want in an outdoor workspace, and here's what they said.
Golf. Food.
Golf, food,
beer.
golf,
Food.
beer, food.
So I came up with an idea that
Beer falls
includes
into
all
food.
of it, and we're gonna build it.
No.
This one should be fun.
Playing.
So
Thank you
here's
for
the
the
plan.
list, though.
A couple of the
Appreciate
guys
that.
like golf. A lot of the guys like beer.
I'll let
Few
you
of the
be
guys
used
like
to
food.
that.
And one of the
I'll
guys
let
is
you
weird.
be,
We're not gonna
okay?
say what
I'll
we like.
let you be.
Fine D.
Actually, I'm not gonna let you be. Let's go. Let's go. Come on. We got time. Bro, I'm watching this guy build his dream patio, bro. Come on, bro. Let's go, bro. Oh my god. I'm watching this guy build his dream patio, bro. Chill out.
Grease them up. Super duper. And
But I included all of them, and we came up with this
Oh, that's dope.
obviously hand-drawn, beautiful
like that. It's
sketch
mad
to
simple.
present the concept. Because we don't want to take all summer to build this,
No
we're going to break
scratching,
this thing out
man.
into parts.
Stop,
We're going to
man.
start with the patio and the putting
your
green,
scratch pose,
getting all of
man.
that kind of prepared and ready to rock and roll. And then we'll get into building the custom dining table with a concrete top,
dining table.
maybe do some cool fun stuff there. And then we'll get into the pavilion itself. All of these parts can be worked in separate so we can move the project along quickly and not waste this hot summer and get out there and enjoy it before the end of August. The great news is myself and Sam have never done patios, pavers, putting greens, or pavilions, and we're doing all of those. So this should be fun. All right, let me show you where we're gonna put this thing. So this is gonna be the home for where this is gonna live. Jason already went ahead and kind of like marked some stuff out, but essentially what we're thinking is we're gonna go 14 feet out from the building.
build you a patio.
And then I'm too,
I'll build one for
I'm
you,
too
okay?
fat, stupid, Billy Bob. 14 feet this way without like, you know, hopefully I didn't f up his
I
stuff.
get the catnip.
This is gonna be our
corner.
patio. We're just gonna do like a basic paver patio. And
the toy corner.
that'll be, you know, awesome for drainage and all the other things that pavers have a lot of benefit for, and I think it's gonna look good. The pavilion will sit exactly where the camera is right now, giving us like a nice shaded area. Sam and I have got a concept for like this pretty rad, I think rad, concrete top and outdoor kind of dining table that we're gonna concoct. Don't know if I told you that yet. But the thing that I'm most excited about is that a lot of the teammates here, the team members, like golf.
A lot of the teammates
Jason and
here.
Joe had this like awesome idea of putting in a putting green. So the thought is the green will kind of start here, come out maybe 4 or 5 feet, and then we'll come down, maybe a little round, and then it'll loop down
a little loop ski,
kind of into this area
and then into the boop,
where we'll have a couple holes
boop,
that you can putt to,
boop.
and we'll give
Boop.
ourselves the ability to do like a little bit of a longer putt. And then Jason's really good at spending money and having some cool ideas from time to time. He wants to do, which I think would be pretty
A
rad,
swimming pool.
a bunker.
A bunker. Oh, cool.
And that bunker will kind of live in this area. Oh no, acetone, hurry up.
Acetone on the shoe. I mean, not acetone.
And so we're gonna have a bunker kind of live in this area, and this will be really, really damn cool after we get it all in. First things first, Jason's gotta start digging holes. So if you didn't know, any Joe off the street can rent something like this.
Oh yeah?
And just
Cool.
go make an absolute mess of whatever they want. So Jason went ahead, got this little mini excavator. He's gonna be doing all the groundwork. We've got our skid steer that we can use for some of the other things there. But I don't know. I feel like there's a future Unscrewed video using some
other
machines
channel.
like this. What do you think, Joe?
I think there is.
Leave a comment down below if you want to see playing around with some rental machinery. I just think it's so absurd you don't need any certification or experience to rent one of these. Jason is a certified forklift operator though, or excuse me, a certified operator who's in the union. So he knows how to use it. He's gonna get started with the demo, and then Sam and I are gonna get started
demo.
on the dining table. popped out to get an update from Jason on pretty much the end of day one. He's got the pit of death, or doom, as you'd like to call it, cut out here. Way bigger when you like stand inside of it than when I was just like cutting lines. But we've got 2A down, getting it all kind of like solid in for the base. He'll just keep coming back and forth on that. So you don't have to own any of this, which I thought from like years you had to own all this crazy shit to be good at this stuff. You don't. You can make awesome stuff like this with a couple rentals, and it's only cost you a couple $100.
Couple $100, couple hundred smackaroos.
So it's looking awesome. We are moving things forward. The shade actually hit this side of the building, so it's way nicer than it was all earlier, but looking good. Sam and I got to get working on this table.
All right, we're gonna go ahead and get started on our table base here.
Okay.
To build this table base, we have some fine 6x6 cedar posts. I'm gonna get those cut to their rough sizes and then mill them down to about 4.5 inches by 4.5 inches. We're then gonna be taking those cut down and milled pieces and cutting the joinery so that we could form this table base right here. It's just on a piece of printer paper, I'm sure. They'll pop up a 3D image of it rotating. We're gonna go ahead and get everything cut down to size, milled down to size, and hopefully we should get some joinery cut today.
Joinery cut today.
Posts have been milled to 4.5 inches in thickness this way and this way. I got a flat reference edge on the bottom with our joiner. I'm gonna be cutting these on the bandsaw and running them back through the planer to get them to 4.5 inches in thickness because they are too thick and juicy to run through the table saw. So the only thing that's important when you're doing it this way is to make sure you are square. And good news, we're square. No daylight through there. So I'm gonna go ahead, run these back through the planer and get ourselves some 4.5 inch by 4.5 inch posts so that we could cut our angles and join these old girls together. So we are getting ready to go ahead and cut our posts so that we could start joining them together like this drawing here. Since these are 4.5 by 4.5, as I mentioned before, they're gonna be too thick for our table saw. And actually, as I'll show you here in a minute, they're too thick for our miter saw as it stands. Whenever this blade comes down, it stops right about there. Because you can see it's riding against that wheel there. So it comes very close to going all the way through, but leaves us with a little nub left on there. So the solution to that is to build just a small auxiliary fence out of some plywood that'll bump it off that back wall about 3/4 of an inch. And that should allow my blade to go the full way through there whenever I slide it back and then send it forward. So I'm gonna get that fence built, get that fence installed, cut those angles, and then some dominoing. All right, so I got my little auxiliary fence built here, made it out of some plywood, and you can see I had to double up these corners here to shift it out enough so that this cut
these corners to
could
shift it
go
out
the full way through there.
Nice.
So now that I have my fence built, I'm gonna go ahead and get my angles cut,
Not bad.
and then move on to some dominoes, glue, and then other table-related activities. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and get these angles cut to make it easier, make it repeatable. Made myself a template piece out of this plywood.
Cool. I like that.
So I could just lay it down. So I could just lay it down on here. Match my angle up with my angle right there. And then it'll line me up the same every cut so that everything can be spot on. So I'm gonna go ahead and get these same every cut so that everything.
This looks crazy. What is this? Looks wider than this side.
can be spot
It's supposed to
on.
be like that.
So I'm gonna go ahead and get these angles cut and continue on with these legs. All right, we got all of our angles cut. We just need to make sure that our joints line
said
up and we're
angles, yeah,
parallel
sure.
top to bottom. And good news, we are
Oh yeah, he's making some
nice and flat on the top.
Or not some flat.
And ew, nice and flat on the bottom. So we're parallel top to bottom. Our joints are looking pretty nice. So next step is to add some dominoes and our friend the glue, and then we should have some big old legs and we can proceed with this fine outdoor tabletop.
So Sam's already got started ripping on the legs, which means it's time to make the form for the top. We're gonna be doing solid concrete here. That way we can throw a rave on top of it, and whenever liquids happen to land on it, aren't gonna harm it outside. That requires melamine, which we have right here, so I'm gonna rip this down and build a form.
Melamine.
Now we're just gonna caulk it just like we're doing an epoxy table. Come back with a fondant tool, and that'll actually give us the edge. So the way it comes out of here will be the exact shape it's gonna be. So it's one of those things that just wanna make sure you have a nice mold if you're doing concrete work. This thing likes to spew at the end.
Nice
Ryobi.
mold.
It's not time for the nails, Dan. Instead, it's, yeah, get that right over there. Instead, it's time for this comically large screw. So we're gonna be assembling these. We already have our dominoes in there, so it should go together, maybe. There you go. So all these dominoes are gonna be used for is just alignment. Since this was milled out of 6x6 cedar, the moisture content may be a little bit less than favorable.
Okay.
So along with the glue and those two locating pin dominoes, we're gonna be along with your just a maybe. There are dominoes in there, so it should go together, maybe. There you go. So all these dominoes are gonna be used for is just alignment. Since this was milled out of 6x6 cedar, the moisture content may be a little bit less than favorable. So along with the glue and those two locating pin dominoes, we're gonna be sending one of these 8-inch structural screws, actually 2 of them per side. If I were to just go straight through here, it might be cocked at a bit of a weird angle. So to combat that, we have this 5-degree angled piece of cedar. So whenever I go to drill this, so as you can see from the top, it'll allow us to go straight forward that way. And I already have my lines marked where I'm gonna drill these holes. And now I'm gonna drill these holes. So come along. All right, the time has come to apply some glue to this. There are holes pretty pre-drilled, not 4.5 inches pre-drilled. I'm not gonna lie, that upsets me greatly, but we're pre-drilled enough that hopefully, if everything goes right, these lags will slide right in this nice soft cedar and not blow anything out or crack.
Okay.
Not blow anything out or crack. So we're gonna do this now.
You ever just like write a message when you glue?
I once saw these painters that were priming a wall on a job site. They wrote a bunch of very nasty things about the homeowner. Then they painted over it, but the primer kind of bled through. Then the homeowner saw, and it was, I just try to avoid writing anything positive or negative on wood or drywall. The old glue in there. All right, let's see what she does. Yeah, down there, go in your hole, right there. You go in your hole, right there. Clamp on you.
Clamp ski.
Make sure you don't
Hold the glue.
run away from us. We'll leave a little space for that one. All right, let's see if this, all right, all right, we're gonna send you in nice and gentle. Now that's the hallmark of a fine glue up. Look at that little bit of flash out. Did the rest of the fasteners go? I like to scatter my things as I work so it can't go too smooth and efficiently, and there's always room for things to go wrong. All right, now there's 2 below it, should be all good, and then breathe easy. Get all relaxed. Have a nice cocktail maybe. I myself am not a father, so I'd like you to give it the old, she's not going anywhere. Here we go. Let's see, is she true? What do you think, Dan? What do you think?
She's not going anywhere.
All right, so Jason just got back with the pavers, and these things are looking awesome. We're gonna get these going and installed. Let's check them out real quick. Show you guys kind of what this is going to look like. Mold is drying. We might be throwing a curveball cooler into the mold. I'm not quite sure yet. Sam has given up fun for the summer, so adding a cooler to our table, you know, he's just giving me a lot of pushback. We went with, I think there's a few sizes of paver here. You can see we've got a 12 by 12, and I believe this is a 6 by 12. And a
nice, 3 of them.
An 18 by 12.
6 by 12, 12
so
by 12,
these,
6 by 12.
and then we've got our borders here, which
really
will look super sharp in contrast with it. So we went with pavers because pavers are just a lot easier to fix. I also think it like gives like it gives a really nice high-end look instead of just kind of poured concrete, and it's much easier to DIY. So if you wanted to try this yourself or do something like this, it's not as intense. You can take your time and not get killed like you do with concrete. And you can do this on your own. Like it's a lot of guys have done it. Jason's done a lot of them, so he was just way faster than me. Lay out his plan for how he's gonna start and he's gonna go about ripping this. I'm actually leaving for vacation in a day, so him and Sam are gonna take over on this stage. And we're gonna get the concrete poured before I leave. So when I get back, we should be timing it up nicely for the installation of the putting green, which just came in on 2 giant rolls. Check these out. So this is the
putting green,
under laminate, or whatever the hell it's called, the foam, the padding, and then the actual putting green surface, and then a bunch of infill. So Joe's done a few of these. He ordered enough to do a football field. So we might be putting a lot longer than we thought, and God knows we need the practice. So let's get on to the pavers. So next steps, Jason's headed back out to grab a load of sand. He's gonna use these pipes here in order to give himself a level surface. What he'll do is like move those out, and they'll be how he grades the depth of the sand and keeps everything nice and level. And that's what all of our pavers will sit on top of. So here's a time lapse of him doing that.
All the pavers. Oh, this looks cool.
So I want to create a tray trough drop area in the center that we can either light on fire or put cool, refreshing beverages in. So to do that, all I'm going to do is build this like tiny box out of some extra melamine that we have here and caulk that in. Excuse me, gigantic fan. Some say that's our biggest fan, but if you want to be our biggest fan, you should join the Builder Bunker. This little box here is all centered up. The technique we're using to like put this together should not affect strength a ton. I think I'm gonna pivot my design and do a metal subframe just so we get a little bit more support across the length and the width, which should eliminate any concern that we have for this thing breaking once we get it done. Now all there is to do, I'm just caulking it in because we're gonna have to pop this out, and then screwing it or nailing it from the bottom would make that different, or difficult, excuse me. I'm gonna let that dry. That'll hold that in place well enough for what we're doing. I think I'm just gonna throw some internal braces in here, and then we'll get on to pouring. It is concrete time. Everything's dry. We've got the mold cleaned up. Neither myself, nor Sam, nor Jeffrey, nor Joe, nor Rocky, nor Ben, nor Dan, nor Jeremy are proficient in this at all. So we're kind of sending it. I've done enough concrete that I feel like we should get a pretty decent result. If it sucks when we pull it out, we'll just f the edges up to make it look rustic. What do we think, guys? High 4.
There's only about a 48% chance of that happening.
All right, so we got our mixer here. I have no idea what concoction Sam and Jason purchased, but it is a concrete mix, and then we have this like
high PSI concrete mix.
Gotcha. It increases the PSI. We don't have glass fiber, which I've done before. That's how we're gonna do it. We're gonna mix them in here, we're gonna dump it in here, we're gonna shovel it there. Into the mold, and then we're gonna be good to go. You ready?
Ready.
1, 2, 3, go pee. I gotta pee.
That's crazy. Maybe I fill it to the top, I guess. No. Oh, well, probably fill it.
Well, I'm going on vacation and I'm taking a break, so the boys are gonna take this one over. Sam's gonna wrap up the table base. Jason's gonna keep moving along with everything going on in the patio. Maybe they'll get to the pergola, I don't know, but your boy needs a break. That's why I'm so grateful for these guys. I'm headed out to the beach. Good luck, boys.
Mr. Pula, how's it going over here?
It's going well. I've got absolutely zero experience laying pavers or doing anything with this. I'm following the lead of our mighty teacher, Jason, the paver paladin. Yeah, I'm following his lead. It's going very well. He has this pattern printed out for all the pavers. So we're just laying them in place, lightly tapping them. And I believe he said the next step is some fine polymer sand.
So what's the goal for today for you guys?
To keep spirits high, maybe find some personal enlightenment.
Personal enlightenment.
I'm gonna try to get a raise today.
So subscribe,
Hurry.
buy shop shade, subscribe, do anything.
Buy these things. I think our game plan is we're just trying to get the stone laid out, I believe, up into this area. I think everywhere where it's kind of flat here, then I believe this is getting a whole different treatment for the putting green. But as I said, I'm not that guy. Jason is the guy.
Well, you're about to be that guy whenever you're helping me do this putting green.
Yeah, I help you putt on the green. You think? I bet we'll have enough time to practice our putts to defeat John in the grand finale putt off, don't you think? You golfed with him. Can he putt well?
Yeah, he's a good golfer.
Lie.
No, he's a solid golfer.
Okay, I'm sure he's really good. All right, we're gonna check back in a little bit. Farewell. The unboxing of the gazebo has commenced.
The gazebo.
Both Joe and myself are gonna put it together using nothing but the directions and all of the necessary tools required that we conveniently have on hand in the shop. Join us as we build this gazebo, as we assemble this gazebo.
Why didn't you build it from scratch?
I wanted to, but I was getting a lot of pushback from that guy right over there. It's the truth.
Say hi to the bunker, Sam.
Hey, how you doing, bunker? It's wonderful to see you.
It's not the bunker. Action.
My name's Sam Pula. I don't want to be here right now. Help me. Call 724. All right, so we making excellent progress. All involved, Joe, Dan, myself. We've now entered the fabled step 6, where all the fasteners and all the posts go together to form one main side of our gazebo here.
Two main sides.
Two main sides of our gazebo. So now join us as we go on to step 6. We only have we have a few more steps left.
24?
Yeah, we're a fourth of the way there, Joe.
We're literally 3 hours
We're
into
making
this.
great time, arguably going too fast.
At least John's on vacation.
Yeah, he's here. I just didn't want to tell you he's actually been in his office this whole time. John, you come out now. with the help of the entire team, we got everything all assembled, put together. I think all we have left is the roof. So we're all good for today, and we should have some more progress tomorrow.
Tomorrow's Saturday.
You're not working Saturday? We're all coming in Saturday, Joe. Come on now.
He didn't show my side.
All right, so it's been a hot minute since we've worked on this table base, but the only remaining components are our main stretcher at the bottom and our two little angled arms that go up top there. So I'm just gonna cut these two beams down to a manageable size. This one's gonna stay pretty long, that one not so long. Get them milled up to thickness, cut our angles, and then we should be able to tie these old girls together.
Nice clean cut right here.
All right, the time has come now to get our stretcher dominoed. Oh wow, what an angle. Nice to see everyone at this angle. I'm gonna get a domino in the top and bottom here, and similar to our joinery on the legs. These add a little bit of structural value. They're mainly gonna be used for locator pins, and then we'll run two of those sweet 8-inch lags into here, and here, just to provide a little extra oomph in case anything gets expansion-y or contraction-y. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and gonna get these dominoes in.
The domino was in.
We are dominoed in there now. And I did a tight domino on the top and a loose one. So we have the slightest bit of play if we need it, but I think we're gonna be okay. I'm gonna counterbore 2 holes through there so we could use our structural screws. And that way, twofold, a little bit more strength. We'll have a nice clamp, so I won't have to make some sort of absurd clamping device for this weird angle. Yeah, we'll do that same thing to the other side, and yeah, we should be good to go.
It's cool.
All right, table base is all fastened, glued. All we have left is just to plug these holes, sander, and we have our base done. So now it's time for us to go and hop back outside to continue with the process. Gotta go find Jason now. I think he's out there. We're out here, beautiful sunshine, with none other than Jason. Nearly single-handedly put together this gravel, pavers, other things that I'm not privy to. We'll let Jason explain.
The only help he's had is that beautiful machine right there.
Woo! Fine piece of work, fine piece of machinery.
All right, the game plan for the day is going to be we're going to throw a little bit more gravel down in preparation for the putting green. So I have a little bit of excavating to do for some landscaping. I think we're going to have a little bit left over of the putting green material. So we might extend it a little bit, maybe add a hole or two. Wink, wink.
Yes.
And then just starting getting it prepped for the pavilion to come in after we get the putting green down. And we are in the final stages then.
While Jason gets this excavating done, Joe and I are going to throw the roof panels on the pavilion. So that'll be all buttoned up and ready to come out on this fine piece of patio very soon. And now, without further ado, B-roll.
B-roll.
All right, the time has come to make our plugs for the holes. So as you can see here, everything we screwed together, we have all these holes here that have been counterbored. So we're gonna plug those with some cedar. So they're 3/4 inch holes. So it means we're gonna need a 3/4 inch plug cutter. So I'm gonna go ahead and get these plugs cut in here, get them glued in, cut them flush, and then the table, aside from a little bit of sanding, or that table base, aside from a little bit of sanding, should be all done. So now join us as we cut the plugs. Oh, what's that? You don't feel like talking? Okay, maybe this will jog your memory. That's not doing it. That's okay. How about some of this? There you go. Yeah, I bet you feel like talking now, don't you? What's nice about these plug cutters, like the ones I'm using, it actually tapers the tip of it there. You can see it's tapered right at the top there, square at the bottom, so it makes that tapered end easy to just slide right in there. So let's go ahead and get some glue and see what we can do. All right, we got the plugs in. All the straight ones went in super easy. My angled ones, my plugs were actually a little too short, so I had to cut some longer ones. And also, whenever I went in on that angled cut, I got a little bit of skippage in the bit there, so I tried to accommodate for that by tacking in a few of these little extra pieces here. Once they're cut flush, we should be okay, but my goodness, do they look ugly now. But don't worry, plugs, even though they're all incredibly ugly right now. Hopefully when we get you sanded, you'll look a little bit better. Maybe they might look even worse, but we'll find out together. Yeah, that's all. So yeah, we'll cut these flush, sand it, and then we have a table base all done.
All right, now we're back outside, and what you're seeing here is Jason is taking our Milwaukee gas axe to some of the stones we're going to be using to surround the putting green. He's basically just given himself a flat area to lay down on the ground so they sit really nice and we can keep this thing looking like a bunch of hacks didn't do it. If you're doing something like this on your own, a big suggestion that I have in my years of experience that Jason has taught me is go rent a damn machine. You grab that thing up at Home Depot or something, or Sunbelt, and it saved us so many hours of backbreaking labor across this entire project. I didn't realize they'd let any jackass off the street rent whatever kind of machine they want, but you don't need a lot of experience to run one of these. So help yourself, help your back, help your future, help your family. Go rent a machine. So the boys are hammering in the edging here. This will just help keep all of the blocking tight. When you have an edge piece on your patio fall out in the future, it's just gonna piss you off. So these will help prevent that.
We are here with none other than the paper paladin himself, Jason Cray. We've laid out the mat that goes underneath the putting green to help our putts be even smoother and help all the fluids inside of our knee stay there for as long as they can. The time has come to demold this concrete table. Jason did a nice job getting a nice smooth finish on top here. True. So we're just gonna peel these melamine edges off the side. We have one off already. Jason peeled that guy off. He said they pop off pretty easy, so should be able to hopefully demold it just like one of our epoxy tables. Oh yeah, wow. This is so much nicer than the epoxy tables. I've really never done much concrete work.
All right, I'm back, and things need done, so we're gonna do them. It's been about 10 days, which is a good time for a table like this to dry. Should be like completely dry. Hopefully we're gonna cut the silicone, see what the top and the bottom look like, or see what each side looks like. Pick one. If the vibration was good on the bottom, which Sam, he vibrated the shit out of that. We might be able to actually just use that instead of having to go through a polishing on this end. We do not know. Then we gotta just finish up the frame, which is looking badass. Did a killer job on that. Then I gotta weld the box that's gonna be our little cooler in the center. Perks of a forklift. Oh yeah, this is definitely our top. Oh, Daddy still got it, Joe. You wanna get under there? Here. Here, it's nice, right?
That is nice.
It's nice.
Give me that. Give me that.
All right, let's bring it down, flip her over, and then we won't have to flip it again. So the top's looking great. We got to do a little bit of chemical cleanup here. Doesn't really need a lot of sanding or polishing at all. I'm going to start working on what's going to be our drop-in box here. While we do that, Sam's just going to finish up the table base, add a little bit of structure, some stretchers and stuff for rigidity, and then we should be able to get this thing at least close to ceiling by the end of the day. So to build this little cooler, what I'm going to do is the top, I'm going to build a little angle iron frame here and weld that together so it can drop in. And what that will do inside that, it'll cover up all the edges, and then I will do some panels in a box that drops kind of down inside of it. And on the bottom of it, I will just add some holes for drainage. If we ever want to fill it with water, we'll paint the whole thing so it's semi-waterproof, but
okay.
This should be pretty simple and pretty basic. This is one of the main reasons I love knowing how to weld, because welding is a way better application here. It's just going to be super fast. We can use really thin material, and it'll be super durable. I'm going to cut some shit down. We're going to fire up the Lincoln Electric welders. We're going to make some sparks, Joe. Need some holes, and then she's ready for Pula's magic touch. We don't know what he's touching, but he's gonna touch it. We're just gonna add as much bracing as we can now to the subframe. So once we get the box in there, we're gonna do final alignment on those, on just a couple more pieces. Jason and the boys are crushing it. It's looking awesome out here. We've got the turf getting stretched, holes are cut, boulders are in along here. We're tightening up all of the landscaping. That's the next thing that'll get done before we start bringing out all the built things. We're gonna get this area cleaned up, make our beautiful Mr. Cool unit look nice and pretty. That was actually our first Mr. Cool unit we ever installed. Absolutely love that thing. Thing was super easy to install. It's one of their DIY units. If you're interested in getting air or heat into any room in one of your buildings or your house, check out Mr. Cool. I'll have a link for you guys down below. So we'll clean all this junk up over here. This is cool. And then this thing's really starting to come together. It is time to seal the concrete. Now we got everything clean, we let it dry overnight. We've got some low luster sealer here. We'll put the same stuff on the patio outside. It's got a 1 hour dry time and 4 hour recoat. So we should be able to get at least 2 coats on today. If you're building anything out of concrete, that's one of the kind of things that I learned early on. I used to do a decent amount of concrete or work with a concrete company. And one of the things you want to make sure you're thinking about when you're building is how you're going to seal it, because it is porous. Even though it doesn't feel like it, it'll get jacked up, because these dudes are heathens. They're going to ruin it.
Heathens.
So I'll get this applied. We're almost ready for final assembly.
We have our base here. I got the bottom sprayed. We're going to be hitting this with a Halcyon clear coat. It's an exterior grade. It has UV resistance and all other good things that help with exterior projects. So we're gonna get a few coats on this, and then yeah, table base is officially done.
All right, we're in the home stretch here. Everything's laid out and we're just getting close to done. We kind of need to put some finishing touches on. So I'm gonna hump some rocks. Then we'll just kind of clean up the landscaping around it and we can start getting everything that's inside, outside. We've got pavilions, we've got tables, we've got weird things Sam found over the month. This looks like a good one, Jace.
This is well made. I like the way this came out. This came out really well made.
So we found ourselves in a little bit of a serendipitous moment. I'd be curious to know how many of you know what this is from. Joe came up with the idea of graveling this so we could put the bench and our fire pit here instead of having it against the building, which I thought is pretty awesome. So kudos to those of you that know what video this is from. We've got the other one that'll go right here. I think it's a good use of the space. Now we gotta figure out how we're gonna get the gazebo out here. This should be fun. This is gonna get real f***ing squirrely. Forward. All right, down. It's too hard to hold. Grab the casters. Get the metal ones. Forward. This is what we call a pull pace. Pull. That's the left.
Like
Shift the whole thing down. There you go. Stop. Okay. I think we're gonna have to pick it up from this point. So go ahead, put your side down. It'd be a great day to be a cameraman. Dan, go in the center if you can. Come over here. We're gonna come out, and then we gotta go over. 1, 2, 3.
This is easy.
Yeah.
Probably should have basically not out. They don't even have it. Well, Dan.
My spine.
Come on. Gotta be right there.
All right, the first large heavy thing is out here. Now for the 500-pound cement table. So I'll grab this end. Let's get a body here, a body here, a body there. 1, 2, 3. Everyone good? Down.
All right, we're making some last little adjustments outside, getting some things together. You know, one of the last things we're gonna do as a surprise, John doesn't know, Harbor Freight hooked it up. We have some of their outdoor LED lights. We're gonna be installing them around the patio,
Harbor Freight.
around the gazebo, kind of make it, you know, homey, some good vibes. So Dan and I are gonna unbox these right now, get them set up, get them attached, get some power ran to them, and we're gonna get these last few things in, and then it's almost time for some B-roll. So all we have to do for these lights, it's super cool. They're like every other outdoor LED light. You just plug in, pull it down and screw. And now we have two 24-foot strands. So we got some other golf stuff, got some used golf balls from Amazon, some putters, this cool little neat golf stand. We're gonna start getting it set up. And we have this 3D contraption that Sam purchased off the, now he printed this, right?
Yeah, it's a free print.
Yeah, show him,
Cool.
man.
Oh, that's dope.
All right, so the green's not rolling really the way we want it to, so we went and got a tamper. We're gonna try tamping it, and then we're gonna add more sand, maybe some moisture. We're not gonna say where the moisture is gonna come from. We're gonna get this thing rolling right. Everything's coming together pretty good. This is one of those things, we have literally no idea what we're doing. All we did was watch one YouTube video and sent it. So we're just about wrapped up. We've got one more surprise for you guys. We got the griddle out here, nice little fire. gravel pit. This came out like really awesome. The putting green's looking great, but let's be honest, putting's only so fun. Smashing balls, that's a lot better. So I hit up my buddy Matt, Mr. Short Game, to see what he thought about a launch monitor, and he hooked us up with this SkyTrack. If you guys are golf fans, go give him a look. Great content, great dude. So we've got a launch monitor here, so now we can gamble and see how shitty we are at hitting golf balls. This is gonna be a nice addition for the boys. So we've got the launch monitor, we've got the putting green. The boys are already drunk, they haven't worked for hours.
Nice.
We've got ice in here, they wanna light a fire in it later. We'll see where that goes. But I think it came out pretty awesome for us. I mean, I haven't done one of these in probably 8 years, 9 years. And this is the biggest table-based
It's
Sam's
cool,
ever built.
the whole setup
Let's
they
go
got
team.
now.
Landscaping
Nice.
looks awesome.
They did a
3 more
well-
holes
well
on
good-
this side.
well, good
Jeremy's
job.
over here getting some
Good
putts
job.
in.
It was
We got
really
enough
well.
space for the whole team to enjoy
Especially
themselves.
the outing,
Let me
the
know.
outline
Do you like
of
this one?
the golf
What should we build
field
next?
Into the stuff, the rocks. It's pretty nice. Pretty nice.